Scrapbookers and Creative Friends. I'm Linda Petuch, Creative Memories Independent Advisor in Jupiter, Florida. And today, in Thursday Thoughts, my thoughts were all about stripes. Stripes in nature, stripes in paper. So I started playing with old collections that I have. I just went through all my collections, current ones and past ones, and looked for striped paper, striped stickers or stickers that could become stripes, and also played with some cardstock. So I'm going to share some of those ideas with you and see what you think. Let's take a look. Here are the basic tools that I use. This time, of course, your 12-inch trimmer. I use the Border Maker cartridge for 3 little stripy kinds of Border Maker cartridges. I had the Fringe border punch, and then I decided that I wanted to have some decorations on some of these striped pages, but I wanted them to be totally different from stripes. So I used this one, the square tile punch. I used the Medallion punch, this old Paisley punch, and this a double heart that has designs around the outside edge because they're kind of little stripy designs. Same thing with the Paisley. They have like little stripes on there. So I thought it kind of coordinated. These have stripes as well. So I was going with my theme of stripes. So these are the tools that I used. The first thing I want to share with you are some pages. I'll start with this one that some of you may have seen before. This is cutting scenic paper. This is actually just one sheet of paper that I cut 2 inches off the edges, cut what was left in half, and then you spread it across the page here. Here's some stripes in nature that are just beautiful. This is the Emerald Gemstone designer pack, and then it's on another piece of the Emerald Gemstone paper. This is an older collection, but it is a beauty. That makes a nice stripe enhanced paper. Here's some more from that same collection, but these I mounted on cardstock. Hang on. You can either put the short pieces together, but I think I cut it. Yes, I cut it so that I only took 1 inch off of each of these ends, and then I picked up on the orange and mounted it on orange cardstock. Here it is on yellow. Another 2-inch trim, and then the middle there. You can tell because you can see the veins in the rock that create those stripes, so you can match it up beautifully. But this makes a lovely double page spread. This and the other ones were from. The other one on orange was from Leave Nothing Behind Texture Paper Pack. Some of these, I don't know if they're still available, but they might be, but they're just gorgeous. As I said, I went through some of my old stash, and I thought I would try something different. So I just cut strips of black and of, this was Island Waters cardstock, and I decided, just for fun, to use this stripes to make my design, and then I'll decide which way I want to put it. Very flexible, and I thought it would be beautiful. My daughter and I just went to the Loggerhead Marine Center, and we were looking at these beautiful striped lionfish, which they're beautiful, but they are invasive. But I thought, well, those would look really nice on a paper like this. And because it was in a tank, of course, and because it's so dark around it, I don't think I would even mat it. They really stand out nicely on that page. Stripes in nature, stripes in paper. So now I'm just going to go through some of my pages that I created. Now these are, let me move this out of the way. That's going to be distracting. These are pages that, papers that just had stripes in them. And as I said, I wanted to add just a little embellishment, but not too much, because the stripes, of course, are very busy. But when you organize them in a pattern, I think that helps. And I did it like this because then it would be completely flexible as to what orientation you use. This is on pink cardstock, and this striped paper, I believe, was from Feeling Bright. I did write it on some of them. This was totally tonal, purple and blue pack. And this way, I decided instead that I would, that you could put pictures in on both sides. And I used the middle, this side, this time for the design. Here's the square punch, our little new square punch that we got last year. And then this is that little square tile, which just adds another little touch. And this is totally tonal, purple and blue. Single page. Here's another single page, and again, I wanted to add, this time I used the paper to make the stripes. It's not striped paper, but I used the strips of paper, and you will see in my pages, I pretty much stuck to 1/2 inch stripes on here. So, but again, this can be oriented in any way you wish. So it's kind of great to have a page pre-made, but very flexible. The next one is from an old collection that I love called Painted Prairie. As I said, I just went through some of my collections, because sometimes the striped paper is not always the easiest one to use. So I thought I would, that's what I would do. So this is that Paisley, which also has a stripe, but it's a very organized, contained stripe. So it complements the collection and complements the paper, but it doesn't overtake it. And then I just made another little pattern with that. And then just to ground all of this, I cut this is not 1/2 inch, this is 1/4 inch, and I just cut a little strip of blue, so that would kind of ground the whole design. This is Painted Prairie. Now, Totally Tonal has a lot of beautiful striped papers. This is the Totally Tonal purple and blue. So I decided to make it for the borders on each side, but just to soften it a bit, give it a little more interest. I added the flowers. This is from the Floral Embellishment flowers, and then they come with that little bling, so I added the bling. But again, you see, this can be completely flexible. So you don't have to worry about what pictures you might use. If you're on a page creating frenzy and you just want to have fun with it, you go ahead and do it, and then just leave it so that it's flexible. So whatever pictures you use, they'll be able to be accommodated. This next one was from an old collection. I can't remember. It might have been one of the tropical collections, but I decided not to pick up on that green at all, but instead to use it as a base. So I did add stripes, and these are the just with the cardstock, and then I used the matching cardstock both for this embellishment and for the photo mats, but I popped it up a little on that. This is our circle punch, our new little circle punch, just to have it be more visible. And then I combined the two cardstock colors. Okay, Botanical Burst in every color had these beautiful striped paper. So I decided, instead of making a frame that was just one color, I picked up on the two predominant colors in here. And then this is that little heart punch with the stripes on it. And I had one from an old, might have been Be Mine or one of those little Valentine collections. But I thought that was nice because it had a little more activity going on there, a little more interest. But all I did was just make these 1/2 inch, put some above and some under, just to make a frame on there. Again, leaving you all this space for your photos. Now here's some more Botanical Burst, and this time I picked up on 3 of the colors. Again, these are the 1/2 inch cardstock strips, but you see how flexible this is. So stripes on stripes, but because it's in a definite pattern, I think it really works. I never realized I was a stripe lover, but apparently I am, because I really had a ball with this. Botanical Burst, and then that's that little medallion, and just coordinating cardstock, 2 shades of green, and that blue, because that little like kind of an island waters is in there. Next Botanical Burst is the little rose color one, pink and red. And I didn't pick up on that. Instead, I did a contrasting color, and green with pink and red always looks beautiful. And then put the 4 medallions there in the corners. Totally flexible, whether you want your stripes to be vertical or horizontal. When you create a page like this, it makes it flexible. Here's the yellow Botanical Burst. This one, however, you could do it like this, but I made it a double page. So you could go across the top like this. This would be very pretty. You could do it like this as well for your double page that way. Again, as I said, if you do it on the edges and you don't have, there aren't any words or anything on the embellishments, then it makes it very flexible for you to move it in whatever way suits you and accommodates your pictures and your journaling. This is that square tile on the square punch. Now, I did have some stickers from a very old former CM collection. They were Asian stickers. Some of you may know these. I made some borders as well, but I did just make this one double page. They were the Asian Miyabi Great Length stickers, and because they're creative memories, they're still perfectly fine because everything's archival quality. So I used two of the wide stickers in that collection, and I put them on. I picked up on this dark green color here that was in this sticker, and that's my grounding here. I put this one in the middle of the strip. Here I kind of offset it a little bit to bring it down onto the paper, and I thought that this goldenrod would look really pretty together. So again, this, because it does have designs all over, but they're not horizontal or vertical. Again, you've got another beautiful double page spread. Now the next ones are all double page. This is that collection called Positive Vibes, and I used the Fringe punch, which it's a tricky one to use. I love the look of it. It is a little tricky to use, but I used the Fringe punch, and I think, yes, I did it on cardstock. On the cardstock, at least that helps it hold together a little bit. This is one of those punches that when you're using it, when you're punching, you need to pull it out to move it down. And this one does have the little triangle design on there to help you line it up. Because play with this one. If you have this punch, or if you're using this punch, really play with it with scrap paper before you cut into your only sheet of paper you have. Okay, so the Positive Vibes, this way, the fringe can go, again, any direction. It could come up from the bottom. It just, truly, it's a truly flexible way to do it. But these stripes, when you have a striped paper like this, I would mat my photos, but since I don't know which photos are going on there yet, I just have it ready to go. Again, flexible. And of course, these, when you use a designer paper, then you have the flip side for dropping top loading pockets. This one is a paper called Natural Disposition, and I thought it were going to be stripy. I also used the zebra stripe punch. This is the Border Maker cartridge. I use the zebra stripe, and you see how when you put mats for your photos, it does kind of take the stripes become a background rather than in the foreground, and that kind of helps your eyes a little bit. But so that's what I did on this one, Natural Disposition, and the zebra stripe punch Border Maker cartridge, which I placed on a coordinating piece of cardstock underneath it. And again, we have paper that you can put into a top loading. National Scrapbook Day 2019 had this beautiful striped paper. As I said, that striped paper is not always my first choice, but I think most of our collections have a striped paper of some kind. But I liked this one, and I just thought it would be nice to have contrasting. It's vertical stripes, put the horizontal stripes, but then if you turn it, you can do the opposite. Again, I just want you to think about it because I think it's a nice way to use your striped paper and have kind of a different look, and it's quite generic. It could go for pretty much any event. It doesn't specifically coordinate with any event. You can make it flexible. Here's National Scrapbook Day 2021. I love the black on here, so I picked up on the black, and instead of making double frames, I did it like this so they could go together. Now this does restrict being able to turn it completely. This way would look nice as well, but I don't know if I would like the look of this. Let's try it out. No, it's okay. It's up to you. You could always add another strip of the half-inch strip of the black cardstock if you wanted, but I just think it's a very pretty design, and that way you're using it instead of storing it, which is what I was doing. This paper, I could not tell you the name of it. Is a very old CM paper. As a matter of fact, it's white on the back. I mounted it on a piece of white cardstock because I cut a frame from the hyacinth shimmer paper. I cut a frame for it, and I picked up on this. Believe it or not, this is purple. It's not a pronounced purple. It's a very subdued purple, but it went really well. I thought it went really well together. So I cut the fringe out of the same paper, put another piece at the bottom, and then added a piece of this of the same paper on top of that. But it did need a frame. Not only did it need it for the look, but it also needed, this paper was a little bit smaller than 12 by 12, so I had to play with that a little bit, but give me a challenge. I'm happy to do it. And now we've got the white cardstock on the back. You can build on or just place it right down in your album. Feeling bright. I love this stripy paper. Again, you can do this as a double page spread. And it's pretty flexible. But I just love that. When you do something like this, you do need to make sure that if you want it to go together, you need to make sure that when you place the paper down, put your pages together to make sure that they're going to line up. And that way you have it in the right space. So when you put it down on your paper, visually it takes you across at the same spot. Okay, I got the zebra stripe out again. And this time I decided to use, this was like from one of the marine collections a couple of years ago, tropical collection. So I decided this was kind of an amorphous kind of stripe. So I thought that the zebra stripe would look good with that. I put a strip of, what is it? Oh yeah, it's on goldenrod cardstock. So I have the paper here, and then I punched the edges. I punched the zebra stripe out of that so that then the goldenrod would show through in the negative space. And then I decided that it needed another little piece of cardstock on top, and then that platinum shimmer, and it makes a really pretty page. Again, very flexible, horizontal or vertical. My last page, very simple. I just used these stripes and added a stripe. And again, you can make this, whether it can be vertical or horizontal, whichever suits your photos and what you feel like doing at the time. So now you know what's next. Has to be borders. So I used one piece of that Creative Memories paper, that subdued purple, and decided that to put it on the bright pink cardstock, but then I added the purple square tiles on top, tilted at an angle. I did make some, remember I said I would use those Asian stickers, and I made some borders out of them, but I decided to double them because there were 4 stickers, and I thought, well, I'll put them together because they could be on one page, they could be on a double page, they could be top or bottom, whichever you like. But very simple. You could always add embellishments, a journal box. So they're all pretty much the same. They're just the different colors. Okay. And then again, you have to make sure that when you do this, you decide which way you want to have them going. And then that's flexible for that. This had 3 stickers that coordinated, so I just put those in the middle, and then I added some of the floral embellish, popped these up on foam squares, added some little enamel dot bling on there, just for a different look. Brings out that pink. And then this one is pretty much how it came on the sticker strip. So I just mounted them on a piece of black cardstock, and then just copied exactly the way it was on there. Makes a lovely little border. But now let's do some other stripes that are striped paper. So here I thought I wanted to do stripes on stripes. So I used this, I think it's called Cable Weave. Yes, the Cable Weave punch, border maker cartridge, because I thought that made a nice stripes on stripes. So here's a double for that. It can be, and again, you want to coordinate it. I thought if I do this, I want them to be going the opposite directions. See how they are tilting the other way? Yeah, so they're going to be, and I made that decision before I put them on the paper. So that way it would flow across. But again, remember, you can do that vertically and it won't matter. So here's with the shades of blue. Here I picked up on the purple. You see, it's the same basic idea, but one is picking up on the blue, same paper, one picking up on the blue, one picking up on the purple, and it has a little different look. This one is, I think, 1.5 inches or 2 inches. This is 1.5 inches wide border. Okay, I didn't do a lot with the peppermint stripe, but I had to do that one, border maker cartridge, because I think it looks very nice. Again, that's that same paper, but using a fuchsia bright pink. And again, you can do these as vertical borders, a double page or single page. And again, I have them going the opposite direction to take your eyes across a double page spread. This one is from National Scrapbook Day 2022. And this one had, it had multiple stripes for me here because it had the striped paper, then it had the striped embellishment, so I decided to add that as well. I did ground them on this piece of green paper that was part of the collection, and then to mirror the embellishments, it makes it a double page spread. But again, there are no words or anything. You could possibly put them as vertical borders rather than horizontal. And I mounted it on cardstock for stability too, because it was a lot of layers there. And then just added a few extra touches. Okay, my last borders are with Botanical Burst, and I used that pink red and decided not to put the embellishment on the edges, but instead to put them in the middle. Again, this is going to be very flexible, whether they're horizontal or vertical, and that'll really dress up your page with a simple little, well, not too simple. It's a beautiful border. And here's a pink one, so I added stripes to stripes. And the flip side, this is the flip side of each paper. So this kind of looks like terrazzo floors to me. I grew up in Miami, in Florida, so we had terrazzo floors. Looks like terrazzo there. So that kind of terrazzo is the complementing side. So I use that as the base. Made a smaller strip of the striped paper, but then I added stripes, but I toned them down by putting my embellishments there. Again, this is completely flexible as horizontal or vertical, single page, double page, however it makes you happy. Same thing here. This is Feeling Bright. These, I did put the embellishments on the edges just to have that, but that means that you could use them. They could be in the middle. They could be at the top, on the edges. Again, you could have one at the top here and one at the base here, on a single page or on a double page. Again, whatever makes you happy. So that's Feeling Bright. And the last border I have is again Feeling Bright. And here I just decided that I wanted to make a design from the design. So this is tangerine cardstock to pick up on that orange. You can pick up on any one of these colors in here when you have those beautiful stripes. So I used the tangerine orange and then picked up on the orange and did a strip across. It's a 1 inch strip, and then just to give it a little more design, I put the crossing pieces, and there you go. Another idea for you to do. Use those stripes in nature and in paper. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these stripes in nature and in paper. I thank you for following me. If you have not subscribed, I would ask you to do that. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them in the comment box below. And I will put links there for the Creative Memories products. You can shop with me if you don't have an advisor. If you have an advisor, please support your advisor. If you would like to be an advisor and you don't have one, I would love for you to join my team, and I have a link for that as well. Thank you again for spending time with me. I want you to stay happy, keep scrapbooking, check out those stripes. Goodbye for now.